Welcome, Joslyn Center Facebook fans and our new podcast fans. My name is Jack Newby. I'm the Executive Director here at the Joslyn Center. Want to welcome you, encourage you to come to the Joslyn Center. We now have 61 in-person programs, and we're also continuing with virtual programs like this one. If you would like to sign up for virtual programs, check out our website at joslyncenter.org. And under virtual programs, we just ask you to submit your email address and you'll get a schedule every month of what programs are being offered if you're not able to come in. So, and we just, with this new variant, just want to remind people that here at the Joslyn Center, we require temperature checks, sign in, and mask wearing at all times while in the building. So we look forward to seeing you. And again, you can check out all of our programs and services on joslyncenter.org, and also check out our Wellness Center programs, Brain Boot Camp, Problem Solving Strategies, and the Aging Mastery Program. We have an in-person and Zoom Brain Boot Camp starting next week. So if you're interested in that, sign up for it. It's a 2-session course. And really gives you a lot of information about memory care, brain health, and how to improve your memory and remember names and places and those sorts of things. So it's a fun class. It's developed by UCLA Longevity Center, and we are the only place in the Coachella Valley that can present it. So I want to go forward now with our interview today. We're talking with Richard Katz. We're talking with Richard Katz of Canine Ambassadors, and he's going to let us know about therapy dogs and the difference between therapy dogs and the guide dogs you see. So welcome, Richard. How are you?
Thank you. Well, I'm really good. Happy New Year to you and everybody, and thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you. Happy New Year to you. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what brought you into Canine Ambassadors and letting people learn and know about therapy dogs.
Well, every story is different, and everybody has a different way of taking their pet become a therapy dog. But I'll briefly, tell you mine. So prior to retirement, I had a human resource career. Going to universities and corporate HR and management consulting and so on. So totally unrelated to dogs. And the way I got started is that I retired in 2014, and I was retained by UCLA Health to help them raise money for their therapy dog program. And so in the process of raising money, I got involved in seeing what people did with therapy dogs, which led me to come home and say, hey, of my 3 dogs, which one of you are going to be the lucky one? And I picked one of them. And at that point, I took Rudy to some very inexpensive entry-level basic command kind of education. They're offered at Petco, PetSmart, community colleges, but it's usually about $150. And anyway, so I trained him, and then I became a handler at UCLA, and for a couple of years made the rounds. And then I was asked so many times, how'd you get into it? How do you do it? What's the qualifications? So I created a class that is taught now on Zoom that provides people with information about how to certify your pet.
So what's the difference? You're talking about therapy dogs, and there are also, we see guide dogs that people with low vision or who are blind have,
yes.
And also companion dogs. So what's the difference between those 3?
Yeah, well, the people get confused. Everybody does. I'd say 90% of the public really gets those terms mixed up. Simply stated, a service dog is your dog that has been trained to help you overcome some kind of a disability. And that can be anything from sight to mobility to detection of blood and so on. That's a service dog. A therapy dog is simply a dog that doesn't have quite that high level of training, but is taught basically to like people. It's basically taught to know the basic commands such as sit, still, and so on, and to be able to be in well controlled. And I have some more comments about that. So that's the difference between a therapy dog and a service dog. Therapy dogs are to help other people to reach out into the community, whether it be hospitals or airports and so on, and to be able to provide that stress reduction. So that's the difference, Jack.
So part of your journey, as you've explained it, led to you forming a nonprofit organization to help people learn how to train their therapy dogs, and how they can get out into the community with those dogs. So tell us a little bit about the
Sure.
Canine Ambassador.
Yeah, okay. Well, Canine Ambassadors is a new nonprofit that I established. It is right now, after COVID, we lost 2 years. COVID stopped the therapy dog field. So during that time, I've been testing the concept of what Canine Ambassadors should be. So it's still a moving target, but it's sort of a research platform for me to figure out what is the niche within the Coachella Valley, but probably on a national basis, as to where I can, fit in with my services, having an entrepreneurial background, a business background, and so on. So I'm think I've got a model down, but it's too early yet. But in terms of what we're doing right now, I would encourage the audience to send me an email if you have any interest in thinking that your dog, your pet, could become a therapy dog, and I'll be glad to help you.
So you mentioned sending an email. So how can people contact you? There's Canine, that's K, the letter K9 ambassadors.org. And what's your email or other contact information?
Yeah. I would use, for now, I would use Katz R, KATZR at, and it's 4 letters, HRMS.net. That's more reliable at this point. Okay. Plus it goes to me. And since this is being developed, I want to be involved in what your needs are.
So if someone's interested and they've gone through the process of the training for a therapy dog, what is a therapy dog team? Yeah,
well, okay, good. So a therapy dog team is made up of you and your dog. Your dog is your pet. It's not somebody else's dog. It's your full-time dog. It could have been a dog that you had for several years, like I had. It could be a new puppy, and so on. So the team is made up of you, the handler, and the therapy dog, which we can go into more detail about what's required depending upon time.
So what you mentioned, the requirements to become a therapy dog team, and so what are some of the requirements that people should look at if they're interested in?
Yeah. Okay, so basically it's 2 things. It's the requirements for the dog and the requirements for the handler. That's you. For the dog, it basically basically, and I'm just, these are concepts, but to summarize it, um, the therapy dog has to be mellow, has to show no aggression, has to like people, has to like all people or almost all people. So it's more of a temperament. The actual skills involved are really quite minimal. They're basically the 7 basic commands: sit, stay, fetch, that kind of thing, down, which are fairly easy to teach through resources. So those are the basic requirements for the dog. And for the handler, I have a kind of a summary. I'll try to go quickly over that. You have to own your own dog. You have to be able to travel to different facilities. You need to know how to talk to strangers, because you're taking your dog out into the community and making people happy. Your dog has to love everyone, almost everyone. Only a few people my dog has rejected, but that's rare. Your dog is well trained and knows the basic commands, and you can control the dog. So it may or may not be for everyone, but there's a lot of benefits for becoming a therapy dog handler, which I can summarize if you'd like, Jack.
What are some of those benefits?
Okay, so specifically, as I see it, as an aging senior, these are benefits from my perception, but I think they're universal. For you, is that if you have a compassionate personality and you have an empathetic one, and you actually feel that it makes there's a term for it, but there's a special high level of service to make people happy. And in therapy dog handling, I don't have to do anything. I just bring the dog to the event, and the dog does all the work, and I can be in my not perfect personality. You get to meet new people. So if you want to build a community, I'm new to the desert, and been here for about 3 years. Haven't found it too easy to make any real decent relationships, friends. All my friends are outside, back in LA and so on. So this is a way to meet new people. Obviously, you're going to maintain a more active lifestyle, which obviously is good for the health. And I personally think it helps me reduce all my guilt in other areas of my life.
So when people go through this training and they have a therapy dog, and as I understand, through the training, there are organizations that certify individuals as a therapy dog.
Yeah. So let me explain that it's a convoluted world of therapy dog animals out there. There's all kinds of nonprofit agencies, some big, some small, some by area, some by breed. So there's an infrastructure. I'm going to guess about 100,000 therapy dog handlers, but they're not connected except through these national and regional agencies, and they set up they try to follow the same set of rules about training and evaluation. They try, but it's loose. So if you really are interested, send me an email, and I will forward to you the agency that I think best fits your particular needs.
Okay, why don't you let people know that contact information again?
Yeah, sure. It's okay. So the email is Katz, Katz HR as in Roger at, and then 4 letters, HRMS.net. Henry
So,
Roger Whitney Sugar.net.
so if someone goes through that training and is certified, what are some of the places where they would be able to bring their
Oh,
dog?
yeah.
As a therapy
Yeah.
dog?
Well, historically, they've been hospitals, and 95% of the hospitals now have a therapy dog program, according to the whatevers. And one can really now start going to a variety of places and facilities that have a common source of stress. Okay. And I figure that and that can be anything from courtrooms to airports, maybe employer work sites, and how many areas don't have stress, right? So I guess in a nutshell, a canine ambassador's purpose is to expand the use of therapy dogs, period. And whether that be, more visits to airports or startup visits to employer work sites to deal with the pandemic, which doesn't seem to go away. And so you have a lot of options. When you pick a location, when you pick a type of facility, you're also picking people. In other words, if obviously if you bring your dog to a senior citizen center, you're going to deal with older people. If you bring the therapy dog to a youth center where there's kids, obviously you're going to deal with kids, and so you can deal with any range of population, because therapy dog services are needed in situations where there's stress, which in my theory, I believe it's a lot of places.
So I think, from talking to it, sounds like there's a lot of information and a lot of opportunity for people to learn how to be a therapy dog handler, and also to bring their dog out into the community. So again, your website is K9, that's the letter K, the numeral 9, ambassadors.org.
Yes.
That has a lot of information for
Yes.
people to find out how to
Yes.
become therapy dog handlers. And then if they want to contact you directly, that would be Katz, RKATZR at HRMS.net.
Yes. Yes.
So
Jack, I have one more opportunity. I don't want to make it into a commercial. I teach a 2-hour online course through the community colleges on how to certify your pet. And obviously it would go into a lot of detail about the topics that we talked today. Do you want me to tell people how to contact the college?
Sure.
This class is going to be taught next Saturday, the 15th, at El Camino College. These are online courses, so it doesn't make any difference what college that you roll through. But that's the one that is specifically offering this class, and I'll be the teacher, by the way. You get 2 more hours of me. Saturday, January 15th from 9 to 11 through the El Camino Community College. And then you want to enter the word dog in the search box of the college, and it'll come up with the class. And it's $39. I get, that's very small. I get a few bucks, but I'm not trying to sell that. But,
So if people are looking for that, they would look for El Camino Community College.
Yes. Yes.
And then put dog in the search bar.
Yeah. And it's $39. That's what the school charges. I think it's worth it. And I've been doing that class for 4 years now. So there's something good about it.
Okay, Richard, I want to thank you. We're nearing the end of our time for our interview Friday. Again, people can contact you through k9ambassadors.org if they want to learn more, and that the website has a lot of information for people, and they can contact you through that website as well. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes. And Jack, I want to thank you for allowing me to share this information. And I'm a nonprofit. I'm doing this as a labor of love, basically. So anything I can do to expand the therapy dog services, I'm here to help.
All right. Well, I want to thank you and hope you have a great weekend, and
Thank you.
thank our listeners, and
Thank you.
we will be here next Friday with the Jocelyn Friday interview show. So thank you and have a great weekend.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Sure.